Hello there everyone, welcome back to another Cardfight Vanguard video, the second in a few weeks. This is crazy, but I wasn't really that interested in the Jackknife stuff we got revealed last week, but this week we got, last week we found out all of the different worlds that were getting supported, and today we found out all the Katana World cards, so I figured now would be a good time to catch up, take stock, and kind of see where we're going with this collab and how competitively viable it is looking. So if you're interested in that, and if you're interested to see all of the support discussed as and when that comes out, you should subscribe to the channel and like this video if you enjoy this sort of shenanigans. I'm going to upfront say, so far, I don't think any deck is as powerful as Drum is looking right out of the gate, but I do think both Jack and Zanya are looking very interesting. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going back to old reliable, my old friend Freedom Duo. Gosh, it's been a while since I've been actively using this blog, but my man's been doing this for like a decade, and yeah, goat. So we've got a bunch of updates from the stream today and last week just on the actual set, which I'm going to talk about, and then we'll go and we'll talk about all of the different cards. So first of all, big news, they confirmed that all rares and commons will be available in Holo Foil. This, or holographic foil, whatever you want to call it. This is a big deal because, first of all, Bushiroad's foils are actually pretty good. And secondly, it means the whole deck will be foil. This is a huge win. Those of you who didn't know, Buddyfight did all cards in foil after, I think, the second year of the game. So most cards were available in foil. Like, all the high rarity stuff was obviously available in foil in, like, the first few sets. And then they sort of expanded that a little bit. And then in some extra boosters they added foils, but then I think it was just a mainstay from every single set from I think 100 onwards where everything was foil. So everything was available in foil, I should say. So this is a big deal. Obviously we'll need to see the pull rates. My guess is every pack will have a foil, at least one foil, right? So this seems to me like it's like 7 cards per pack, 5 cards will be commons, 2 cards, 1 card will be a rare, and 1 card will be a rare or above, right? And maybe that rare is like Or like 1 card will be like a rare and above, and the other card will be a foil or a rare or something, right? Like something like that is what I'm thinking. Obviously not confirmed. We also saw, and I'm going to kind of spoil some of the cards here as we show the high rarity versions, but they have introduced the KR, or the Ultimate Rare. I'm not really sure what the KR stands for there. But we can see here we have all of the triple rare units for Dragon World here. They're all 7 of them, so again we'll talk about the Jack stuff, but yeah, Jack got a load. So basically what they have done here is they have brought back that classic Buddyfight gold foiling that surrounded the cards in the triple rares. I think this is super cool. This is the version I want to have in the main deck. And then we also see here Zanya and Tsukikage. Spoilers, but Zanya only got 2 unit triple rares. Its final triple rare was actually a order. We'll talk about that all later. And then finally, on the foils, we did get to see every single one of the secret rare cards for the units that have been revealed so far. So that is Drum, who looks. These are the I believe these are Buddy Ragnarok. I can't remember the specific Japanese set, but these are the Buddy Ragnarok artworks. So Drum, Jackknife, and Tasuku, and then Zanya and Tsukikage there. So I've got 5 copies of this. Probably I got them down there somewhere in the actual Buddyfight game, so this is super cool to see. Okay, then we also just to make you aware, they've announced standard-sized Buddyfight sleeves. So I'll be Yu-Gi-Oh! Or small or Japanese-sized Buddyfight sleeves. So I'll be picking up a bunch of these. They also announced that every single box will contain a Buddy Rare. Now we don't know how many Buddy Rares there are. I think you can zoom in on this Jack. I don't know if it's the full high-res version. Yeah, so we can see that this is Buddy Rare number 3, which I find very interesting because if they are going via the sets list, Jackknife Dragon is actually triple rare number 5. Looking at the... and so, if we look at the set list, I think every single triple rare unit will be available as a Buddy Rare. Because looking at this, a triple rare number 1, I've got a spreadsheet open with everything. So triple rare number 1 is Gao, triple rare number 2 is Tasuku. Then it's 5th Omni Drum, Jackknife Dispersal, Jackknife Dragon. This is number 3. So I think this is confirming that all of the triple rares, non-leader, all the triple rare units that are not like the ride line basically are going to come in Buddy Rare, and all of the buddy rares, all of the ride line grade 3s are going to come in secret. So what this means is there's going to be a very, very, very shiny version of every single one of your triple rare cards, which is very, very good. And then just as a reminder, before we go in and discuss the cards, every single... and then obviously I got to show you all of the worlds that were announced, spoiler. Just a reminder what the Gauge Zone crest does. When you ride, you put a flag from your soul into the order zone and play this card into your crest zone, and then you gauge 2, so you have Gauge. When it gets placed at the start of the ride phase, you get to Gauge 1 and draw 1, so you get Charge and Draw. And then once per game, you get to Buddy Call. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or above, you choose and call a Buddy monster from your order zone onto a rear guard circle. You counter charge 1, and you have to call it by paying the cost. So remember, every single one of these Buddyfight decks is gaining this mechanic. So they have Gauge, and they once per game are just going to be able to call out their Buddy monster and counter charge 1. Here we have all of the worlds, and guys, I'm not going to lie to you. This was possibly the best case scenario for me. Like, this is insane. It is absolutely the ideal. So we have 2 Dragon Ball decks. Then we've got Tetsuya for Magic World. Could have predicted that, very likely. Zanya for Katana World. Kyoya for Iron. And then sneaking in and beating out Danger World, Ancient World, Hero World, Star Dragon World, my GOAT, Ikazuchi, 100 Demons. I'm so gassed about this. You can't see them back there, but I've got all of the Exalted Flags and 100 Demon SPs and all that sort of stuff up there. So this is actually, I'm so gassed about this. I'm really looking forward to when they reveal 100 Demons. They haven't revealed that yet. At the time of this recording, we've seen half the set. And I'm really looking forward to seeing 100 Demons. I'm also really looking forward to seeing Magic World. I'm just super excited for almost this entire set. Great picks from my perspective. Okay, with that all said, we can now actually talk about the cards. So let's begin. I should probably, let me make this a little bit smaller for you all so you can maybe see just a little bit more of the actual cards as we go through. But yeah, fair warning, it's just going to be quite wall of texty. Okay. So obviously we talked about Drum last week. Here we go. We'll begin with Future Force Possessor Tasuku Ryuenji. So continuous on your Vanguard circle or your rear guards with Jackknife gain plus 5k. Okay, so you just get a 5k buff to board, which is great. Auto Vanguard circle. When this unit, and that's on both players' turns, by the way. So you are defensively much harder to be attacked into. I think between this and if you're able to get Soul Guard on your units, they're basically not going anywhere. When this unit attacks, if this is this unit's first battle during this turn, Counterblast 1, choose and sound one of your rear guards with Jackknife in its name. Okay, Jackknife Braveheart activate. So clearly there's some restand coming. Jackknife Braveheart, activate Vanguard once per turn, pay 1 Gauge, search your deck for up to 1 Jackknife in its name from your deck, or drop, add it to your hand, or call it onto your rearguard circle without paying the call cost. And if you search your deck, shuffle the deck. So this is just a great ability. It's obviously very much riffing on what they did with the Gao and Drum, but sort of with a different little bit of a different flair. So obviously no link attacks because that's not what Tasuku was known for. Let's then move on to Jackknife Dispersal. Okay, let's start with Jackknife Dragon. We'll go up to Jackknife Dispersal because you need to see this to kind of see how everything's going together. So Jackknife Dragon, call cost, pay 1 Gauge. On activate rear, cost, pay 1 Gauge. Search for up to 1 unit from your deck or drop with Jackknife in its card name and a different name as this unit. I didn't realize it was a different name as this unit. I think that's a mistranslation. I'm pretty sure this is a mistranslation because all the translations I saw said that this did not need to search for a different name, but anyway, call it on top of this unit without paying the call cost. And if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. So this is basically that Drum effect. This is obviously way worse than Drum, 10 times worse than Drum. Doesn't come with soul, doesn't give a buff, but okay, fine, let's park that. Let's look at the other versions. So we have Jackknife Dispersal. The call cost is pay 1 Gauge and put this on top of a Jackknife. Continuous rear. If this unit has cards with Jackknife in its Buddy Soul, against plus 5k, so this is just going to be 20k on both players' turns. Also, rear. When this unit stands by the ability of your grade 3 and above Vanguard with Tasuku in its name, during this turn, this gains plus 1 crit. If your Vanguard is armed with a Gold Ritter, in addition, it gains plus 5k. So again, we'll come to the Gold Ritter, but you're sort of seeing where this might be going. And continuous Soul Guard, it also has that ability. So this is going to be 20k without any investment whatsoever. And then when it restands, it's going to be a 25k swing with plus 1 crit. Okay, not bad. Next, we've got Jackknife Burn Energy. So this is the 4th triple rare for Jack. So core cost is put this card on top of a unit with Jackknife in its name, but no gauge cost or anything. When it enters, Counterblast 1, draw 1, gauge 1, and choose a card from your drop and put it into your gauge. And if you have a grade 3 or above Vanguard with Tasuku in its name, this gains plus 5k during this turn. And then it has Soul Guard as well. So this is your like resource gaining Jackknife. There's a lot of very hefty gauge costs in this deck, so it makes sense that this is going to be a way to kind of let you get those back. So all of the triple rares seem really, really solid for Jack. Obviously, we do need to see a couple of others, and obviously we need to see Gold Ritter to kind of understand how this deck is going together. But here, let's have a look at Jackknife Thunderstorm. So pay 1 gauge and put it on top of a unit with Jackknife. Activate rearguard once per turn. Pay 1 gauge. Choose a rearguard on your opponent's front row, retire it. If your Vanguard is armed with a card with Gold written in its name, this gains plus 10k. So this becomes a 25k swing during the turn, thanks to that 5k buff from Tasuku. Okay, again, more good stuff. Let's go down, and we have Jackknife Gift, which again, all of this will make sense as soon as we hit that Gold Ritter, but it's pretty far down the page. So Jackknife Gift is a grade 2 normal order. You can play this if you have a Vanguard with Tasuku in its name. Choose one of the following. Choose 1 unit with Jackknife in its name from your drop. Put it in the Buddy Soul of a rearguard with Jackknife in its name. And, if you did, search and reveal up to 1 Jackknife Gold Order from your deck or drop and add it to your hand. And if you search your deck, shuffle the deck. So, basically, set up your Gold Ritter. Spoiler, it's going to set up the cost to pay for the Gold Ritter. If your Vanguard is armed with Gold Ritter, then you draw 1 and then put this card into your gauge face down. So you are absolutely happy to see this at any stage in the game. This is going to be a 4 of, obviously, like, this is very, very good. Okay, let's look at Gold Ritter and we can understand how this deck is coming together. I think there's maybe a couple of little support pieces I'll show after that, but this is going to be pretty much the main thing. Okay, Jackknife Gold Ritter, grade 3 normal order item. Arm, grade 3 and above with Tasuku in the same. Continuous, this card cannot be played. Activate hand. If you have a grade 3 and above Vanguard with Tasuku in its name, and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 and above. Cost. Retire one of your rearguards with Jackknife in its name with 2 or more Buddy Soul. On this card to your Vanguard. Okay, so hefty cost, hefty condition. What are we getting? Continuous Vanguard Circle. Your Vanguard cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. That's big. Its original power becomes 20,000. Also big. That's both those turns. It gains triple drive. Again, also very, very good. And then, Auto Vanguard Circle. After the battle, this unit armed with this card attacks, and if there's the first battle this unit attacks during this turn, stand it, and its drive becomes 0. Completely free. So this is obviously very, very, very good, right? This is the defensive version, right? So you become 20k, just for existing, you're 20k defensively on your opponent's turn as well, so you're basically adding 10k guard to pretty much every swing your opponent is taking at you. You're getting triple drive, you're getting a free Vanguard restand, which is just a free swing. So yeah, just a very, very, very good card. Absolutely super, super good. Let's just quickly talk about a couple of the other bits here, and then we'll, so we got Jackknife Berserker, this is just a vanilla 10k, but it has no cost, so it might see some play. And then we have we have Dragonic Punisher. So this is this is the impact for Jack. So continuous, you cannot play this card if you have not resolved the impact. If you have not resolved the impact order ability during this fight, you may use this ability. Also, hand. At the end of your turn, if you have a rearguard with Jackknife in its name, counterblast 1, discard this card, pay 2 gauge, and declare final phase. Choose and stand one of your rearguards with Jackknife in its name and attack your opponent's Vanguard with it. So this is basically worse. It's worse than Gargantua Punisher, but it's significantly cheaper. So it's going to be significantly easier to do, and it's obviously very much locked to Jackknife. Okay, fine. So this is like sort of your quote-unquote finisher. This is how you get your... this is actually how you get your 6th attack, because you get 3 attacks normally, then you get to restand a rearguard with your Vanguard, so that's going to be a 4th attack. When you have Gold Ritter, you're getting a 5th attack through the Gold Ritter restand, and then Dragonic Punisher is going to be your 6th attack. So this is a deck that can do up to 6 attacks in this kill turn. And quickly, let's just go over the ride line. So grade 2, you Soul Blast 1, and then you add a Jackknife from your drop to your hand, so just get something back. And the grade 1, oh yeah, so, sorry, okay, a couple of these are... we've also seen 1000 Rapier Dragon. This is just 2 crit. If you counterblast 1, this is terrible. Second Life Dragon, you can retire this to add a Jackknife unit from your drop back to your hand. You might play this just because it lets you get stuff back and it's a booster. Jackknife Baby, when your other rearguard with Jackknife in his name and different names as this card enters, you can Soul Blast 1 and call this to your rear, so you're going to play this as well, just because it's going to be a free booster you can just get out whenever. And then we have Tasuku Grade 1, which is when you ride on Dragon World, look at the top 7, and add a Jackknife. So you're going to go ahead and grab basically anything from your deck. And I think finally we got Boomerang Dragon. After this battle, this unit boosted, and Vanguard, you can bounce it back to your hand, so you just get a 6k boost, and then it comes back. It's probably not going to see any play. Okay, sorry, we also got Dragonic Charge, which just gains 2 gauge, probably not going to see play there either. And we've talked about all of the triggers. Okay, so let's take a little aside there, and let's talk about how good is this actually. My feeling is this is Not quite as good as Drum, but it's still very, very good. I think fundamentally Drum is doing something so completely insane. Sorry, I realize my camera is being really, really terrible, so I'm just going to go ahead and go back here. And I'll talk as a voiceover. I'm not sure why my camera is doing that. But yeah, so I think what we can say is that Drum is doing something just so fundamentally unfair, right? Like, you are sitting there and you are swinging for infinite. Your numbers are ridiculous from the word go. Because you're just stacking full rearguard power. They're buffing your whole board, and you're stacking rearguard power onto it. You get your arm for free in the deck on turn 1, on turn 2, whatever it is. Like, it's all just, like, it's just so stupid. And it's so consistent, is the other thing, right? Like, the whole deck searches itself. You literally do not need to see a specific card at any point besides the besides Sunfist Sunshine Impact and Gargantuan Punisher. Those are the only 2 cards you need to draw at some point throughout the game before your kill turn, which is crazy, right? Like, that's stupidly consistent. There's no possible way that any other deck's going to be able to keep up with that at the moment, right? So what we've seen, if you're trying to do this Dragon World-y sort of thing, right? And Jack doesn't. But I think it's not much worse. It's probably like tier 1.5, where Drum is like clearly tier 1. Jack is very, very solid. It's a much better defensive deck, but it's kind of trying to toe the line in between. And I'm not sure if that hedging is going to mean that it's just a bit crap at both, or if it means it's actually really, really solid. We'll need to see. Okay, let's talk about Katana World. This is by far the most interesting card design I've seen in Vanguard in a really long time. I don't think that means it's necessarily very good, but it is interesting. So we start off with the Katana World flag. This is exactly the same deal as the other flag for Dragon World. It's just Katana World instead. I'm also going to quickly flag Shinobi Scrolls, which is a token order here, a token set order, which is generated by your ride line, just so you can understand what that is, and we have some context. So you activate in the order zone once per turn, pay a gauge, put a card from your hand under this card's body, soul, in face down, and draw 1. Why do we want to put that there? We'll come to it. Activate in your order zone once per turn. Play a non-blitz order card with Ninja Arts from this card's body soul. So you still got to pay the cost, but basically this is just letting you stash a card away for later. It's basically a free +1, right? It's just a free draw because you can still use the card from this card's soul. We'll do that middle effect in a moment. The last effect is auto order zone once per turn. When your Vanguard gets attacked, choose and play 1 blitz order with Ninja Arts from this card's body soul. That's once per turn, and this does count towards your blitz order limit per turn. Okay, so basically you can stash orders away and you can play them whenever. The final ability there is auto order zone once per turn. At the end of the turn, if you have a grade 3 and above Vanguard with Zanya in its card name and there are no secret or lethal formations in your order zone, pay 3 gauge, declare final phase, choose and place 1 secret or lethal formation from this card's body soul onto the order zone. Okay, so you get out lethal formation at cost, basically. Now that we have the context of this card, which is just important to know, you're going to be stashing a card every single turn. Let's go ahead and look at the ride lines. First off, we have AiboAcademy, Kisaragi Zanya. When this rides Katana World, reveal a grade 3 Zanya from your ride deck and place a Shinobi Scrolls token onto your order zone. So this is going to generate that token. This is going to mean from turn 1, you are plussing. You're going to go very, very hard and draw lots and lots of cards. Okay, the grade 2. When rode upon by a grade 3, look at 5 from top of your deck and add a Ninja Arts or a Ninja, so search anything from your top 5, basically. We haven't seen the triggers, to be fair, but very likely to be anything. Okay. Secret Sword Lethal Formation. This is simultaneously kind of what I expected and also not what I expected. I was hoping it wasn't going to be this, but this was kind of what I thought was the most likely way of implementation just because it's the easiest. So, Secret Sword Lethal Formation. Grade 3 set order impact. Continuous, this card cannot be played. Auto hand. At the end of your turn, if you have a grade 3 and above Vanguard with Zanya in its name, if you do not have a Secret Sword Lethal Formation on your order zone, pay 3 gauge, declare final phase, and put this card onto your order zone. So, I'm just letting you know right now, you're only ever going to get 1 Secret Sword Lethal Formation down. You're only ever going to be able to use it once. So that kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping that, like, at least once you used it one time, you'd be able to replace it. It is what it is. Okay, fine. Continuous order zone. Auto. When this card gets placed onto order zone, search and put 1 card from your deck or drop into this card's body soul in face down. If you search the deck, shuffle the deck. Okay. Continuous order zone. When your opponent drive checks and triggers a card other than heal or over, and there are cards with the same trigger icon in this card's body soul, you may flip it face up. If you do, nullify the power increase effect and activate the following according to the trigger icon. If it's a crit, during this battle, your opponent's Vanguard gains critical -1. Draw, your opponent discards a card from their hand. And front, during this turn, all units in your opponent's front row gain -10k. So basically, you are undoing the trigger. Now, clearly, the draw version of this is the absolute worst because they get to filter for their hand. But the other two effectively undo the trigger. They're clearly the one you care about the most. You're always going to be putting either crit or front. 99% of the time, you're going to be jamming crit in there. That's really what it's going to be, unless we're in a meta where no one's playing crits. So what this means is, once per game, you get to say no to your opponent hitting a trigger. That's powerful. That's very powerful. Is it worth 3 gauge? Yes, but only because this deck is generating gauge out the ass, and we'll sort of come on to that in a moment. But, okay, so that is Lethal Formation. Unfortunately, you probably do have to play 3 or 4 copies of this card just because you kind of really need to see it. Probably 3 copies is enough, but you do have ways, very effective ways to get rid of it. 4 copies might actually be fine as well, because again, you really do have lots of ways to get rid of this. The only thing I would say is, as far as I can tell, this is not a ninja attributed card, so that's the only thing that might be concerning. Okay. 5 Heavenly Swords on Imaru. Grade 1 normal order item, arms Vanguard. Pay 1 gauge to play. Auto Vanguard, when the unit armed with this card attacks during this battle, the unit gains plus 5k, so you can just buff your Vanguard by 5k permanently. And then cost +1, in addition, +1 crit, and put this card into drop at the end of the battle. So when you attack, you can you gain 5k, and then you can choose to add a crit when it's appropriate. I think this is a solid card. I think you definitely play this. It's very, very solid, and if you have multiple of them, you can keep rinsing them and, you know, putting your opponent in like sticky situations where you're just swinging with crit for a pretty cheap cost. So yeah, I think this is pretty solid. Okay, we're going to get into a lot of blitz orders now, and just bear with it. I know your immediate reaction is going to be, well, these are terrible, but hold on. Okay, so Ninja Art Snake Gaze. Blitz order. Choose one of the units being attacked during this battle against plus 15k, so we are trigger power from these blitz orders. Choose one attacking rearguard, and in addition, cost discard 1 from your hand. Choose one attacking rearguard. During this turn, it gains continuous rear. This unit cannot stand. Okay, so what I have been told about this card is it hard counters a lot of the meta because there is a lot of restanding rearguards. In particular, Bavsaraga, or whatever her name is, apparently, I'm told, does restanding as part of the major amount of pressure that deck is able to put on. We can obviously, this, as far as I understand, works against Drum. It also works against Jack. So, worth saying, this is coming in, and this is a very meaningful effect to stop a restand. That discard actually, if you stop your opponent getting a whole extra attack, that's pretty big. So, okay. This card is probably the best one of the blitz orders. Okay. Then we've got another blitz order. Sword Skill, Bare Hand Intercept. You buff by 15k, and then if the attacking unit is the Vanguard, you can draw 1. So, great. This is really, really good. It just lets you filter. Well, it replaces itself. It doesn't let you filter. Sorry, it replaces itself. It's just basically free power. So that's great. Okay. Then we've got Art of Body Replacements. This is our Sentinel Blitz order. Cost, discard 1 from your hand. Choose one of your units. It will not get hit. And then choose and add a non-Sentinel Ninja from your drop to your hand. So this is kind of the best one of these because it actually doesn't cost an additional card from your hand. You're just subbing something out for a ninja. So if you have an ninja in your hand already, you can just discard it and add it back if you don't need anything. So this is a very, very good card. Obviously, blitz order, but we'll come to it. Okay, we also have the normal Sentinel here, which is just the normal one here. But I think, considering what the blitz order is, you probably never actually will play this. Okay, Byakuya SD. Grade 1, 8k. Shadow Dive. Continuous rearguard circle. During the battle, this unit attacks. Your opponent cannot intercept. All Shadow Dive does that. Okay, fine. Not the implementation of Shadow Dive I was hoping for. I was hoping Shadow Dive would attack from the back row, but this is fine. It denies a little bit of counter. It probably doesn't matter. Auto Rear. During the attack, this unit boosts. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 and above, and you have a rearguard with Tsukikage or Gojinmaru in its name, during this battle, this unit gains plus 5k. So this is a 13k boost. This is obviously great because that's just free power, baby. So this is your best booster. Okay, then we've got Nanomachine Ninja Tsukikage SD. Auto, when this unit enters a rearguard circle, pay 1 gauge, choose and call up to 1 Byakuya SD from your drop onto rearguard circles. So you're able to get it back very easily. Activate rear. Choose one of your rear guards with ninja. If that unit does not have a card in its same name as this unit in its buddy soul, put this card into its buddy soul. And continuous, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 and above, your unit with this card in its buddy soul gains power plus 5k, guard plus 5k. So you can just basically chuck this in and get the drama effect. This is, again, solid card. Both these SDs are good. You will play both for sure. Okay. The iconic Art of Explosive Hades Fall has returned. I'm really happy about this. And it's literally the same card. So it's a grade 1 set order. Costs a gauge to play. When this card gets placed onto an order zone, search and put up to one card from your deck under this card's buddy soul, face down, and shuffle the deck. Order zone. During your opponent's main phase, when your opponent's rearguard enters, discard one of this card's buddy soul. If the card discarded for the cost have the same grade as a unit that entered, retire it. So, big things to note. This doesn't need to be a unit. It can be anything. The original card was a unit. The original version was a unit, so this is actually a buff for Vanguard. Second thing, it doesn't nullify the abilities, so they still get to activate any abilities, and this will not get around Soul Guard. But there are lots of cards where this being able to just say no will be very, very valuable. This is obviously like pretty terrible against Drum. I mean, it's still, like, fine. You just get to immediately nuke one of the soul, but not ideal. If you are, however, able to set up multiple of these, then you can just go kill, kill, kill. So, yeah, that was always the classic thing. And, again, it's thinning the deck to be a lot more triggers. So, this is a great card. Absolutely going to be a 4 of. And, you know, another order that you're just going to be filtering with that Shinobi Scrolls. Okay, here we come on to our actual units now. First off, we got Byakuya. This has Shadow Dive. Auto rear once per turn. When you're grade 3 and above Vanguard with Zanya and its name attacks, discard a card from your hand, stand this unit. Auto rear when this unit attacks a grade 3 and above, and you have a rear guard with Tsukikage or Gojimaru in its name, this unit gains plus 5k during the turn. So, assuming you have Byakuya boosted by Byakuya SD, that's going to be a 28k line just for free, and then you are able to restand Byakuya. So I think that's pretty good. Like, that's absolutely fine for the level of investment it is. It's nothing crazy impressive, but it's fine. Gojimaru. Call cost, pay or engage, and put one Tsukikage and one Byakuya in from your rear guard into this card's buddy soul. So relatively hefty call cost. Auto rear, when this unit attacks and there is a ninja in this card's buddy soul during this turn, this gains plus 5k, so it's going to be swing of 15. Double attack. Auto rear once per turn. After the battle, this unit attacks, and if you have a grade 3 and above Vanguard in stand, cost counter plus 1, stand this unit. So, this is really, really good, because this is just going to sit there and go double attack, double attack, double attack, double attack. Obviously, if you have multiple Gojimarus, this can become really, really scary, and it also has Soul Guard. So this is your best offensive unit, and this is really, really good. You're going to want to absolutely have this guy out ASAP. Super, super strong card. Okay, we have a triple rare order here. Futon Sweeping Whirlwind. So this is a normal order. It's choosing out a non-sentinel unit with ninja from your drop zone to your hand, so this is just going to salvage anything. But when discarded from your hand by a card ability, gauge 1 and draw 1. So this is just a great card. Again, stable 4 of, you've got a lot. We can see there are lots of ways you are discarding in this deck. So this just becomes your card that says, actually, that costs nothing, and you get to plus off that, actually. This is just really, really, really good. Okay, Tsukikage, this is your consistency piece. So, when this enters the rearguard circle and you have not called a Nano Machine Ninja Tsukikage during this turn, pay on engage, retire this unit, search and I really wish this didn't retire, but whatever. Search and reveal up to 2 non-sentinel grade 2 and below units with Ninja from your deck and drop, add it to your hand. And if you search the deck, shuffle the deck. So this does search itself, actually, which is interesting. So you can search itself, which I thought it couldn't, but there we go. And continuous rear during your opponent's turn. When this unit leaves the rearguard circle, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, this unit remains on the rearguard circle. So this is a cool, like, callback to its original effect. But really, this is the Ribi effect, where you get to go and grab Byakuya, and you get to grab Gojimaru. Or you can grab Tsukikage and Gojimaru, or Tsukikage and Byakuya, if you have Gojimaru in your hand. Basically, this is finding the other 2 that you don't already have. You're going to have the 3rd. So this is just great. This is obviously going to be your buddy choice, because this effect is always amazing. Like, you always want to just go into this like ASAP, and you kind of want to be using this every single turn, because this is a +1 for a gauge, which is just great. You want to be doing this all the time. Again, deck thinning is deck winning. This card is fantastic. Okay, so what is this all for? Let's have a look at the grade 3. Aspiring Ninja User of Justice, Kisaragi Zanya. Continuous Vanguard Circle. During your opponent's turn, you may play orders twice. Blitz orders twice. That was not on my bingo card. Activate Vanguard Circle once per turn. Cost, counterblast 1. Choose and add up to 1 non-sentinel card with ninja arts and up to 1 card with ninja from your drop back to your hand. I believe that card with ninja is also non-sentinel. Just to flag that, I think that they forgot, the translation forgot to include that, because otherwise you would just salvage the other sentinel all day every day and this deck would be basically unbeatable. Clear Serenity, activate Vanguard once per turn, Soul Blast 1, gauge 3 from your drop. Okay, so this is a very, very interesting thing, right? Because we can see there's actually a lot of costs in this deck so far, but it's not looking that bad. Okay, so from the gauge perspective, the fact that we basically, like, can just go, yeah, cool, I get 3 gauge. So you're never running out of gauge in this deck. That's never, ever going to be an issue. You're always going to have enough to just immediately lethal formation. You're always going to have enough to pay all your costs. The second thing is the Counterblast 1 for your plus. So first of all, this goes +2, right? Every single turn this goes +2. This deck, you are needing to aggressively, like, defend in the early game so you can get value out of this, right? You want to be using your ninja arts cards. You want to make sure you are getting them. Well, I mean, you don't even need to aggressively defend, to be fair. You just need to make sure that they are ending up in the drop, right? Like, that is what you need to do, and that's going to be really, really easy, and then your value engine just starts going crazy. Remember, we are getting 1 counter charge for free with the Buddy Call. Now, the only thing I'd say is, obviously, this costs 1 counter blast for this Vanguard ability, and the other thing is Gojin Maru also costs a counterblast to restand. So that's the only thing I would be aware of. Like, that's potentially going to be quite a lot of counterblast that's needed once you hit, like, the mid to late game, because you kind of want to be doing this, like, both on every single turn. So I do think this deck probably needs some counter charge. I hope it gets some. I feel like that is really what the limiting factor is going to be. But this is a really, really interesting bit of game design here, right? Because basically what they've done is they've created the ultimate, like, plus engine, right? This deck is just not going to die. If you think about the defensive capability of this deck, right? Like, so its units all kind of like, so its Buddy searches everything else from the deck, and the others like multi-attack. You can, like, it has a card that when discarded says no and pluses itself. It salvages, it pluses 2 every single turn from drop. It also pluses 1 every single turn from the Shinobi Scrolls. That's just going to let you keep cycling constantly. This just seems like a really solid deck. Now, is it as good as Drum? I don't know. This is a control deck, and I think control decks in Vanguard are less obviously powerful. It's kind of going to just depend on whether, like, actually, yeah, like, that really high power bar just can't get over it. I'm not going to really know until we actually sit down and test it. But I do think this is really, really solid. Like, sitting here and actually reading all these cards, I don't think this is bad at all. You get to say no to one of your opponent's triggers, like crit triggers or front triggers at any point, and we're going to be able to sort of see which one of those is better as the meta shapes up, and that's valuable. You're never going to really get crit for gamed in that scenario. You're never going to get, like, front for gamed. Obviously, you might get over triggered, you might get 6 damage healed or whatever. It is what it is. This is Vanguard, but having some agency over turning off your opponent's ability to just trigger for game you is pretty big. You also get a lot of defensive orders. This deck's guard amount is really high. I also think, in conjunction with that, I think you're probably going to want to be on front triggers in this deck. The reason I think that is because you're going to be doing lots of attacks, like, all the time. And I think buffing 10k is going to be a lot to your whole front row. If it's doing, like, loads and loads of swings, is maybe going to be better than that. But I don't know. I guess, like, your Vanguard needs to be stood. So maybe crits are just better. We need to see. But worth saying, if we look at the generic triggers that they already printed, they're both pretty good. We haven't seen the Katana World triggers yet. I suspect they're holding them back because they're actually going to be 100 Demon support in secret, but we'll see. But if we look here at the front trigger, so this one is it's soul charges, so you just always are going to have soul for Clear Serenity. And then the other one is we have a second front here, which is 20k guard, so that's quite a lot. And then the crit is obviously like 15k guard, but then also it gains the rearguard circle ability. You can put it into rearguard and just give something soul guard. So I'm pretty high on this because if you think about it, right, like, you have 16 cards in the deck that are 15k plus countered normally because they're triggers. You also have 12 extra blitz orders, up to 12 extra blitz orders that are 15k, 15k, and a perfect guard, right? So your actual average counter power in the deck is really high. Combine that with the amount of filtering that you're going to be able to do in this deck. I don't know. This could be something. But I guess we will see. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the Katana World cards and of the Jackknife cards. We don't know what is coming next week. I believe the stream is not going to be next Tuesday, though. It'll be next Thursday. So what I might do is if if the Tuesday stream the week after is going to be like another world reveal, then I'll just wait for that one. And then when the final one is out, I'll sort of go over that, and then we'll talk about my impressions and do a little tier list of the whole set. But there we go. That's it. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Cheers.